Think that's us. I think we'll get started. So just want to say good morning. Thanks everybody for joining us. So my name's Opash and I'm on the marketing team here at Bridgell. I just wanted to thank you all for joining us this morning for our Microsoft Teams phone webinar. Just a quick note before we get started and I'll hand you over to the experts. The session is being recorded and we'll be sending you a copy of the recording out with the slides as well. So if you do want to catch up later on, or if you want to share the slides with anybody else or the recording with anyone else, you can do. You'll notice that you're on mute at the moment, but we encourage you to use the chat function to ask any questions. We'll do our best to answer them throughout the session. We do have a dedicated kind of Q&A at the end as well that you can ask the questions in. So that's kind of the main kind of points covered. So I'd just like to thank you again for joining us. And now I'm going to pass you on to our team of experts, Craig Spears and Kevin Romero, who will be leading you through the session. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Opash. So I said it'll be myself and my colleague Kevin. I'll be running through the webinar. We both work in the operations side of Bridgell. I'll discuss that later on in the slides, and we've dealt with a number of VoIP migrations recently. So I'll crack on. Yeah, so this is the agenda we're going through. It'll be a high-level overview of Microsoft Teams Phone. I'll discuss the increase in cloud telephony, what VoIP is, overview of Microsoft Teams Phone, the benefits both to business and users. My colleague Kevin will do a demo of the admin side of setting up and also the user side as well, and discuss third-party enhancements that can work in conjunction with Microsoft Teams Phone. Okay, Bridgell are based in Glasgow. Head office is just off George Square in Glasgow. We've got 44 staff at the moment and expanding. And we were established around the end of 2002 and we celebrated our 20-year anniversary last year. Bridgell is made up of 4 key business areas, and these are displayed in the slide. And these are Modern Intelligent Workplace, which focuses on Dynamic CRM, Power Apps, Power Platform, and SharePoint. Effectively, all the Microsoft platforms fit into this area. The Managed IT Services and Support, and that's when myself and Kevin and my colleague Danny, he'll be moderating the chat. So as Opash says, drop any questions in there and he'll get back to you. And this area covers cloud migrations, moving infrastructure to Azure, and Managed IT support of desktop, firewalls, laptops, etc. And also the infrastructure around Microsoft 365, and more recently VoIP solutions, migrating on-premise PBX systems, and also other cloud-based VoIP solutions to Microsoft Teams Phone. We also have the analytics and applications area. The team within this support and develop large-scale bespoke software solutions, and this covers Power BI, building out data platforms, and looking into a bit of AI as well. And we also have Cherry, which is a bespoke suite of product solutions, and that's mainly focused on the water utility sector. Bridgell are 10 times Microsoft Gold Partner. With Microsoft's new Cloud Partner Programme, this changed the approach to focus on key solution areas. As a result, we're now a Microsoft Solutions Partner for the subjects on the slide. On top of this, we're also a Tier 1 cloud solution provider, meaning we have unique access to Microsoft licensing and can offer specialist licensing advice and pricing. And also we hold the ISO 9001 and 27001 certificates. We've got the government-backed Cyber Essentials Plus certification, and more recently became a member of the Cyber and Fraud Centre, Scotland. Getting this slide is some of our customers. As you can see, we've got a number of customers across the private and public sectors and across a number of industry verticals, such as manufacturing, housing, national government, NHS, utilities, and events. Okay, I'll get on to the main topics now. So in this section, I'll be discussing the increase in cloud telephony and the factors that's causing this. Okay, the adoption of cloud-based telephony solutions has been increasing steadily. There are several factors driving this transition from on-premises phone systems to cloud platforms. On-premises phone systems typically have longer refresh cycles compared to other IT infrastructure. As businesses transition their networks and servers to the cloud and adopt domainless architectures, the legacy PBX systems remain on site. So migrating telephony to the cloud is a logical next step in alignment with broader cloud adoption efforts. Businesses eliminating on-prem equipment and going serverless makes moving to cloud-based phone systems a necessary evolution to complete the shift. Okay. Even before the pandemic, there was a growing trend of remote work, flexible schedules, and providing services to employees in the field. These distributed work arrangements were difficult to enable with legacy on-premises phone systems tied to physical office locations. The limitations of on-site PBX systems to support remote workers and flexible scheduling were already driving demand for cloud-based phone solutions. Legacy on-premises phone systems can be costly to maintain and upgrade as the hardware ages. Desk phones require an expensive upfront investment to provide for all employees, and cloud-based phone services enable bring on device options and soft phone apps to reduce costs by utilising employees' existing computers and mobile devices. The aging hardware and expensive on-site PBX systems are motivating factors to adopt more flexible and scalable cloud telephony solutions. Companies need phone systems that are easy to deploy across locations and enable employees to work productively on the go. Okay, Zopash will draw up a quick poll asking what platforms using to communicate with clients and in-house. So cloud-based platforms provide a single hub for all communications and collaboration needs for a seamless user experience. Native video conferencing and phone capabilities enable face-to-face meetings and calls without needing separate tools. Instant messaging and chat rooms give employees options for quick real-time communications. And integrated voice, video, and screen sharing make meetings highly interactive and productive. And presence indicators show real-time visibility into whether users are online, offline, busy, or away from their desk. Shared calendars and scheduling assistants streamline organising meetings and managing busy schedules, and all modes of communication are accessible through a consistent interface on desktop and mobile. Also, APIs and integrations allow embedding communications into business workflows, where chatbots on a client-facing website can be fully integrated into the modern communication platform. In summary, modern platforms unify the entire spectrum of workplace communication into a single hub that spans chat, voice, video, meetings, files, and calendars. This delivers a seamless, smart, and integrated experience across devices. Okay, recently we saw that in 2025, the public switched telephone network, PSTN, is being switched off, which means everyone from household to businesses currently using PSTN-based services, including ISDN lines, need to move to another service before then. This shutdown of the legacy PSTN phone network is driving increased adoption of modern cloud-based phone systems. The main reason for the switch off is that the PSTN network, or PSTN, has become outdated and is no longer able to meet the demands of a modern communication platform, as it relies on outdated copper cables and analog technology, which are not compatible with next generation services like high-speed broadband, video calls, and unified communications. The retirement of PSTN aligns with the increase in cloud voice systems, supporting scalable, agile voice services over the internet. And that's where VoIP comes in, which is essential for transitioning from legacy PSTNs to all new digital phone systems. And I'll move on to VoIP and what it is in the next slide. Okay, so what is VoIP? We've done a quick diagram and quick text about it. But VoIP, which stands for Voice over Internet Protocol, enables your phone service to be provided over the internet. You will no longer need expensive analog phone lines in your workplace, since it simply needs an internet connection to function. VoIP provides more flexibility, lower costs, advanced features, and scalability compared to traditional on-premises phone systems. And later in the webinar, we'll expand on these benefits. Okay, so how is VoIP different from a traditional phone system? In this slide, we've summarised the differences between VoIP and the traditional phone system, with the main difference being that VoIP leverages the internet and IP networks for call transmission to make and receive calls. VoIP calls can be made and received anywhere with broadband internet access, while traditional PBX systems and the calls use dedicated physical phone lines and circuit switched networks. Another key difference is that VoIP calls are routed over a network of servers, while traditional phone calls are routed through a central switch. This means that VoIP calls are less likely to be interrupted or dropped than traditional phone calls, and provides greater redundancy and lessens the dependency on any single piece of hardware. Okay, how it works then. So VoIP calls work by first digitizing the audio from your voice using a process called encoding. This encoding is done by the VoIP application on a device such as Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Ring, etc. The digital audio is then broken up into small data packets that get transmitted over the internet to the recipient's VoIP platform or cloud phone system. When these packets reach the destination, the phone system reassembles them back into a continuous digital audio stream. The system then decodes this to analog format so the recipient can hear your voice. And this full process is all handled seamlessly and automatically by the VoIP applications and cloud platforms. So even though the actual voice transmission is sent as digital packets over the internet, the users on each end hear a regular, high-quality phone call, whilst the encoding, packetizing, and decoding of the audio happens automatically in the background without impacting an actual call experience. So what are the benefits of a VoIP system? As touched on earlier, VoIP provides major cost savings since all calls are transmitted over the internet. Most providers include unlimited minutes for domestic and international long distance at no extra charge. Mobility is one of the key benefits because VoIP enables taking calls anywhere through apps on smartphones, tablets, or laptops. Location is not relevant, so teams can be productive whether remote, in the field, or traveling. And you also get advanced features like call routing, bot attendance, and multiple numbers at a fraction of the cost of legacy phone systems. And also with VoIP, you aren't tied to a geographic number like traditional phone numbers. You can choose numbers with any area code. VoIP scales seamlessly as your business grows. Adding new employees at offices should take a few clicks with no expensive hardware required. VoIP even enables bring your own device options, leveraging existing smartphones to maximise flexibility. So in summary, VoIP transforms your phone system by providing lower costs, mobility, advanced features, and scalability tailored to how modern businesses operate. Okay, in this section, we'll give a quick overview of the Microsoft Teams phone.
Morning all. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well. So a very quick introduction. My name's Kevin Romero. I've been part of the Bridgel operations team for just less than 5 years now. So yeah, Craig and I and a few other colleagues, Danny included, we work closely with the Teams phone system, and we do use it within Bridgel, and we try to promote and recommend the platform as well to all our clients. We just think that it's easy to use, user-friendly, and it can be implemented with ease, especially if the clients are using Microsoft systems already. So what is Microsoft Teams phone system? Microsoft Teams phone is a cloud-based phone system that easily integrates with Microsoft Teams app. And using the Teams app, whether you're on your mobile, PC, or the web app, users can make calls and answer calls, landlines, mobile devices, as well as other Teams users. Now let's go on to the features. So I suppose we can look at it in two ways. One perspective is of an IT admin user or just part of the IT team. What can we implement and how do we implement it? And the other perspective would be for an end user, how do I use the system, what are the features? So Microsoft Teams Phone has several calling features, as you can see. As an admin, these are a few of the features that you can implement. There's a lot more. That's what's actually being displayed. So Craig will mention all the licenses a little bit later on, calling plans, and on the kind of options that you have as an admin. Auto attendance call queues, I think, was mentioned earlier. That's probably one of the main features of the platform, I would say. You've got voicemail policy set up, you've got dial plans, you can trigger out of hours and holiday set up for your organization. You have company-wide calling features like setting up call recording. You can be very precise with how you apply these policies as well. So you can target certain users. You can just set up for a specific group, or if you would like, just apply to all. So call queues and auto attendance, I would say these are probably the two main features that most companies kind of leverage when you use the team phone system. So what's a call queue? So a call queue is a method to provide a route for callers to reach a particular group of people, or agents as we call it. Calls can be set to ring the agents simultaneously, so everyone gets the call at the same time. Or you can do a serial routing, which means that it rings one agent at a time before moving on to the next one. The auto attendant feature, so that one is the menu system. This allows you to create your greetings, menu options, and then you can decide how calls are redirected depending on what the caller selects on your menu option. So calls can be redirected to an automated message, or you can have it sent to another person in your company. You can have it dial an external number, or even have it directed to another auto attendant or a call queue, or even just send them direct to a voicemail. And as expected from its name, auto attendant, you can actually have it set to be fully automated, so no human interaction is actually required. Another feature is the voicemail policy setup. So by default, voicemails are turned on, but the transcripts are turned off. So this is a feature that you need to manually change. And once that transcription is turned on, you can actually see the transcription on your Teams app as well as an email. So an email is sent with your transcription to your email account. Another feature that's quite handy is the caller ID policy setup. So that one, you can mask your real Teams phone number and it displays a different number. So for example, say you're part of the reception team or the support team. When you make calls, you can have your number show as your support line or your reception line if you want to keep it private. I would say call queues, auto attendant voicemails, the main features. When you use the Teams app, there's a lot more. As you can see, you've got your holiday setup, call park setup, call recording. So that all can be enabled on the Teams admin. We'll show a bit later as well during the demo, but I would say auto attendance, voicemails, probably the main features. Zopash and the team will send a link later on after the presentation to just kind of see all the other features and how to use it. So we'll go on to the end user features. So the features are very simple to use. Users can make calls, answer calls as expected using Teams app. Calls can be transferred, muted or unmuted. You can also record calls via a policy. You can transfer a call to any user. So there's two options to do a transfer call. You can do a blind transfer, meaning you can just transfer it direct. Or if you'd like, do a consult and transfer, meaning you can contact the agent first. So you can send them a Teams message first and then do your transfer. And when you do a consult and transfer, the caller is put on hold during this process. You can also view your call logs, just like you would do on a normal phone. Calls can be filtered. Calls can be filtered with oncoming calls, missed calls, all calls, or your voicemails as well. And you can also customize your own voicemail. So as we mentioned, voicemails are turned on by default. You can add your own message, or you can keep the generic default message. There's also a contacts address book. Again, similar to a phone, you can customize your own address book and label and add names to your caller so you know who calls you, or obviously you can have it set up for your speed dial. You can also block calls. You can also block contacts. Sorry. So anyone unknown callers, you can. There's a way to get them blocked. A couple more features are conference calling. So this is just a way to have multiple users join a call at the same time. And you can set up delegates. So this is an option where you can have other users make calls and answer calls on your behalf. And there's an option for joining a call from another device. So say you have a Teams call on your phone, and when you jump on your computer, there's a way to actually either join that call, that similar call, or you can do a call transfer, which is quite handy, I think. Similar to the admin options, there will be a link to the end user features that we will share towards the end, and then there you can see all the different features and just how to use it. Okay, so I think now we'll go on through just a quick demo of all the features that we've discussed. Let's have a look. Anyway, before I proceed, if you have any questions during the demo or any queries, or even if you want to make a comment, please don't hesitate to get in touch via the chat box. I'll try my best to engage, but I know if I get a bit distracted, my colleagues will be there to answer your calls and your queries. But yeah, definitely any questions, fire them over the chat, or obviously if you want to wait till the Q&A, that's perfectly fine as well. Right, so let me share my screen. Just a quick one on Lindsay's question. I don't think so, Lindsay. So that's separate. It's not synced with your Teams app. So right. So here we go. Yeah. So admin. We'll go through the admin features. So a lot of the features on the Teams app is managed through your Microsoft Teams Admin Center, and then through this Voice tab. As you can see, there's a lot of different options that you can set up. The good thing about these options are there's a quick description and pretty much every single feature that you want to turn on and off. So there's a few, as you can see, and we'll just start with the phone numbers. Yeah, so phone numbers, you can see which ones are assigned, which ones are free to use, and you can also filter them as well. So if you want to just see free numbers, if you want to see assigned numbers, there's a way to filter it. And you can add more numbers. So under here, if you click on add, all you have to do is put a label to your order. I'll ask you to put an order through, so we'll just write a quick test. Select your region. So it does, like Craig mentioned earlier, you don't need to be in United Kingdom to get, you can get a different region if you would like. And once you've selected your region, you can then select your number type. So as you can see, there's a few. So we talked about call queue, auto attendant, you got your conference bridge, and you've got your standard user number. So that's adding phone numbers. How to assign a phone number. So as we've discussed, you need a license to use the Teams app. So once your user is assigned, all you have to do on 365, Office 365 admin, is give them the Microsoft Teams phone standard license. And once they're licensed, you should be able to assign them a phone number. So in one of my tabs here, I've got a filter for all the numbers that are free, right? So as you can see, I've got my filter ready. So these are all the numbers that we can assign to a user if they've got the license ready. So all you have to do is click on it, edit. Sorry, these are the assigned. My bad, apologies. That's the same number. This one here, we'll just do a quick change. User unassigned, there we go. So these are the free numbers, apologies. Yeah, so as you can see, unassigned, unassigned. So if we just click on a number, say, I don't know, 6417, we go edit. And then here you can just find that user that you've got the license assigned to. So I know one guy, so Alan, for example. So Alan's got a license, but he's not got a number, so I can see him. You can't just search for anyone in your tenant. They need to have a Microsoft Teams phone standard license. So that's assigning a number. You can also port numbers. I think there's some queries about using existing numbers. Yes, so I think Craig kind of highlighted one of the queries already. So under here, if you click on here, there's a very detailed Microsoft guide on how to port existing numbers. So if you want to keep the same numbers, there is a way to do it. Now we'll go on to, so we mentioned auto attendance and call queues. How do we create them? So under voice, before you create your call queues or auto attendance, you need to create a resource account first. So I've got a couple here ready, and a test one. So once you've created your resource account, you need to create an email license as well, an email address as well. So once you've got your name assigned and email address assigned, it creates an account on Office 365, and it's the same as your user account. You need to assign a license first before you can assign a phone number. So in this example, I've created a call to SQ, and I've given it a resource account type. So you can choose between a call attendant. You can choose between a call queue and auto attendant. When you create your two accounts, it doesn't actually create the call queue for you. You need to create it on here. So under call queues, you need to create a call queue and then sync the resource account to it. So if I click on here, you'll see what I mean. So this is my test queue. So I've got call queue test. I just named it. Doesn't really matter what you name it at this stage. Click on next. Here you can also set up your voicemails, so you can get your greeting set up. In my case, I've just left it as no greeting, but you can add your own. So if you got your own audio files, fire it over. This feature here, add greeting message, if you type in your message, it converts it to sound. So if you want to type in like your own automated message, you can do that here. And music on hold, again, you can use the default or play an audio file. Your music on hold gets played when, if you have callers, multiple callers on the line, they get put on hold. So if all your agents are busy and you don't have enough agents to answer the call queue, this is what the caller hears. So we'll just click on no greeting and default so we can proceed. So in here, this is where you manage your agents. So who can answer the call if this call line gets hit with callers. As you can see, I've just kind of assigned a few people on my test one. Conference mode just means multiple people can talk at the same time. So what it does is say Craig answered the call through the call test queue. He can add another user on the call. And these are the different options when managing call queues. So as you can see, attendant routing, this is the simultaneous option where everyone gets the call at the same time. You got your serial routing. One agent gets it before it moves on to the next one. So depending on the queue you had, previous page, that determines who gets the call first. And then the timer is just how long it stays on that agent before moving on to the next one. And these are just your kind of user busy, I suppose. So if the calls hit your maximum number of call queue, if the calls hit the number of maximum calls on the queue, what happens then? So in my example, I've set it to I can have 50 calls wait on the queue before it starts either disconnecting or something else happens to them. So if I've hit the maximum 50 on my setup, it just kind of loops back. But you can have it disconnect or go somewhere else. So for example, an external phone number or a voicemail or someone else in the company. Call timeout. What happens if the call isn't answered in whatever time you've set it to? Again, similar idea. You can have it disconnect, redirect to a voicemail or someone else in the company. These three options are all very similar. So this one is just if all agents are busy. Again, similar idea. Kind of disconnect, redirect, or just keep it on the queue. And then once you click on next, click it off. This is where you can also set your authorized users, meaning non-admin can make changes to that call queue. I should just probably reiterate that this is where you sync the resource account with that call queue. So once you've created your resource account and assigned it a phone number, when someone calls that resource account, the steps that we've just went through is what happens to that call. Okay. Auto attendant, we'll just discard that. Auto attendant, very similar idea, except this one will use the menu option. So as you can see, I've created a resource account called auto attendant, and then I've assigned it to this auto attendant, right? Set your timer, set your time zone, language, easy enough. And very similar to call queue, except it gives you the option to create your menu option. So I've added my greetings here. I've just kind of made one up. And then this is your menu option. You can actually avoid it if you want. So you can have just a call, if someone calls that line, just disconnect it. But I mean, what's the point of that? You can redirect it to someone else, or just take advantage of the actual feature, which is having a menu option. So I've created a few options here and just tried to show how many options you can have for redirection. So announcement, just a simple message. You can type in an automated message, or you can have it go to someone else in the company. So again, I've just used Kevin as an example. An operator here is just that's just a voice command, and then what happens then? Again, you could use like another resource account. So for example, we could, if someone dials 0, go to that resource account, which is a call queue. Okay. The directory search, that's a feature where you can skip the menu option. So say you've got like 10 options. Callers, if that is enabled, callers can dial a name or an extension to avoid listening to all the different options. Click on next. Yeah, so out of hours. So I've set up my business hours is 9 to 5. What happens after out of hours? So at the bottom here, you can set up a greeting, play an audio file, or if you want a message, text to sound, where you type in your own message, and then the automated message plays. But these only get triggered if someone calls out of hours. So your timetable here determines when these get triggered. Okay. Just go no greeting, disconnect, so I can go into the next slide. So holiday calls, similar idea to out of hours, but of course, once that's set, it should hopefully stay. So every year you can just either update your sound file, or if you want to keep it the same, that's okay as well. So all I have to do is add a holiday. I've created an example for Christmas. So my holiday here, I'll show you a bit later. You can create it here. So once you've set your holiday, you can then select a file to play during that time frame, or again, text to sound, or yeah, you can just disconnect. As you can see previously, you can have it go to someone else. Place that, search a resource account. Yeah, those are the different options that you can set up for your holiday. After this one, I'll show you guys how to create a holiday. So dial scope is just who gets included. I don't know if you remember I mentioned you can skip the queue and people can dial an extension or a name. So I believe this is what's included in dial scope. You can exclude people or include people. And then my resource account, like I said, once you create your auto attendant, it doesn't actually automatically sync with the resource account you made. You need to assign it to it. And once you're done, you just click on submit. So we'll just cancel that. Just a quick one on holidays. So to create a holiday, just go in the holidays tab, you add your holiday, you name it, and you can give it either just a day or a time frame. So for example, if you want to go through like Easter or summer holidays, I'm not sure. But for my example here, I've just selected Christmas, and then I've selected a time frame of 2 days. So then once I've synced that to my auto attendant, so if my auto attendant gets called during these days, a certain kind of rule gets triggered specifically for those days. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, so I think those are probably the main features when it comes to the admin options. There's a few here as well. Caller ID policies. You can set up a caller ID policy where it can mask your caller ID. So for example, replace the resource account with a support call queue account. If you assign this policy to a user, if someone calls from this, I think a demo will probably be better. So I've created my policy here. So for resource account, assign it with a support call queue. So our support call queue is this one here. So if you assign this policy to a user, rather than their own team's number showing, they'll get this number. So in my example here, I've got care admin. If you go to policies, if you go to edit, then you just find the caller ID policy. Yeah, you can change the default to use the caller ID test for Kevin, meaning that when care admin calls, his real number, which is 6420, gets masked, and then the 6405 will show. What else have we got? Voicemail auto attendance, caller ID. You can have, I suppose voicemails. We mentioned voicemails, another main feature. There's defaults already. As I mentioned, the transcription's turned off by default, so all you have to do is trigger this little feature here. Again, it tells you what each one does, which is good. Just watch out though when you're making changes to the default policies. I would recommend maybe making one change, and then, well, if you're making one change, you could probably change the default ones. But if you're making a lot of changes in the one go, I would recommend you create a new policy, apply it to a small sample size, and then roll it out to the company. Holidays we've covered, caller ID setup. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the main features covered. As you can see, there's a few more, but we've only got so much time. So call part, call hold. We'll share a link later, and you can see what each one does and how to implement it. Okay, we'll quickly go over through the end user side. Right. So once a user's assigned a license, and a phone number, they should then start seeing a dial pad on their Teams app. So as you can see, this is my web app. And I can see a dial pad and a phone number. If the user doesn't see this, that means the license and the phone number is not fully applied. So just watch out on that one. Right, let's do some quick demos. Let's see. So main features, obviously, you can make a call, receive a call, as you can see. There's my call logs. You can dial a phone number. Or if you've got a contacts, you can click on it, make a call. Or from your call history, you can just directly make a phone call. Let's just do a quick. I'll phone my Teams number so you guys can see what to expect. Right, so as you can see, just a number pops up. If I save that number on my Teams contacts, you can see who the caller is. So I'll just answer it. Hopefully my screen share doesn't stop. So you can mute, pretty straightforward. You can put a call on hold, or you can do a transfer. So in this one, I know we mentioned transfer and consult, but see on the web app, the consult option is not available. On the app though, you should be able to do it. So yeah, once you click on transfer, you can then just type any user. I'll just use Craig as an example. Click on Craig and then that call gets transferred. One of the good things about these Teams option is if you can set it up a way where not everyone doesn't actually need to have a license to get a call. Obviously, you need to have a license to make outgoing calls, but for the transfer option, you can assign it to anyone as long as they use Teams, which is pretty cool. Right, so I'll just end that call now. So we mentioned you can filter calls, so that's on my screen just now. You've got the all calls, there's missed calls, a few numbers there, all your incoming calls. You can also see if you're part of a phone group, you can see what numbers have called you through that phone group. I've just used one number there for an example, but you can see there's a call queue on the main line, support line. And then there's your voicemails. I've turned on transcription, so you can see it actually kind of, it writes, it's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. I meant to say bye now there, but I think the rest were right. You can play it as well, which is good. But just watch out because we mentioned there's an email that gets sent when a voicemail is created. So in my emails here, if I delete this email, that also deletes your voicemail. So just watch out if you're one of those users who like to file emails. If you delete a copy of your voicemail, that will remove it. So if I delete this, I should eventually just get one voicemail. Takes a while to load. We'll see. Oh. I will eventually delete it. Voicemail. Yeah, I think I can only see one voicemail now. So yeah, my first voicemail that I had deleted in the email deletes in the Teams app. Yes, we mentioned voicemail. You can set up your own voicemail through here. A lot of the settings, a lot of the end user settings can be managed through the ellipsis settings and calls page. So through here, you can configure your own voicemail, or if you want, just use, I think there's a default one. So it just keeps the default one. And here you can, yeah, that's the voicemail page there. There's the text to speech. If you want to change the message, but you don't want to talk, if you type in a message, an automated message reads it out for you. That's your calling routes. If someone calls you, what happens then? No one else gets the call, or if you want the call to be forwarded to a phone group, change that. Unanswered voicemail, do nothing. Yeah, a lot of the settings can be done here. Another cool feature is if you're part of a number of support queues, you can actually opt in and out. So say you're part of three support groups and you're away on holiday, and you don't want to get any support calls, but you want to keep using Teams, you can just opt out all of them, which is quite cool, I think. Yeah, so I think that's the main things covered. I think we mentioned device transfer. If I answer a call through my phone, you can transfer it to your PC and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's the main features covered. So yeah, hopefully that was all okay. Stop sharing now.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. Okay, so hopefully the demo was beneficial. And you see it's raised a lot of questions in the chat, so I'll work through that as the presentation goes on. And if any questions were still outstanding, we'll discuss them at the end of the presentation. Yep, so I'll crack on. So in this slide, or this section, I'm going to discuss the benefits of Microsoft Teams Phone. You can actually see some of the benefits from the way Kevin showed the demo there. It's fairly easy to set up within the admin center, and with the user, if users already use Microsoft Teams, it's quickly, they can quickly use Microsoft Teams Phone because it just uses the native Teams application. Okay, this year Microsoft reached out to Forrester Research, a big research company based in America, to provide a study on the total economic impact of Microsoft Teams Phone, and the results revealed impressive benefits to businesses. The study looked at a 100-user SMB and found employees saved about 1.25 hours per week previously used for communication tasks. That's over 65 hours of operational time recovered company-wide each week. The study also showed 146% return on investment by switching to Microsoft Teams Phone, and the payback period is quick, around 3 months to break even. Support costs were cut in half compared to other solutions, as managing Teams Phone on the same platform as Microsoft 365 saves time, reduces complexity, and requires fewer specialised skills compared to legacy systems. This dramatically frees up IT resources and removes the requirement for lengthy phone system training for admins and also new users starting a company. So in summary, the Forrester findings highlight major time and cost savings of moving to Microsoft Teams Phone. We'll put a link to the document that this references at the end of the presentation. And the gains in productivity, return on investment, and lower support deliver huge benefits, especially for SMBs.
Right, so I think we've kind of, as Craig mentioned, we've seen some of the benefits during the demo there. I think first and foremost, the Microsoft Teams Phone app is very easy to integrate with Office 365 and with Microsoft Teams. Another cool thing about it is it's you can make calls anywhere on any devices that uses the Teams app. There's a wide range of features and options as an IT user or as an end user, as we showed in the demo as well. And yeah, there's no need for hardware devices, especially company phones. I know some companies still use company phones, so then it kind of goes away from the personal data of the users. So with a Teams phone, the user can still use their personal devices, and they use a different phone number when they make the calls. So yeah, I think I would say those are the main benefits of using the system.
Okay. Because with Microsoft Teams Phone, I'm going to discuss the connectivity aspect because a user will discuss licensing as the presentation goes on. Because if a user does have access to Microsoft Teams via a business premium subscription, they'll still need a comm plan. Somebody discuss the two options and how to connect the Microsoft Teams phone system to the PTSN. Okay, the simplest one is Microsoft comm plans. The simplest way to add PSTN call to Microsoft Teams phone. With comm plans, there's no need to deploy or manage cloud hardware, and businesses can get started quickly and easily. The comm plans allow businesses to port the existing phone numbers to Microsoft Teams phone and offer both domestic and international comm plans. This gives businesses the flexibility to choose the plan that best meets their needs. Also includes a number of advanced business features that Ken touched on during the demo of the admin section, such as auto-attendant, call forwarding, and voicemail. With these features and helping businesses to improve their customer service and productivity. Comm plans are scalable and flexible, so businesses of all sizes can use them. And because they rely on Microsoft's global network, Microsoft's comm plans have the same uptime SLAs as Microsoft 365, both 99.9%. Another option is Operator Connect, which is a program from Microsoft that was announced in 2021 and allows certified telecom providers to deliver public switch telephone network voice calling to Microsoft Teams users. And providers must apply to be a Microsoft certified and approved provider, which also means they have an SLA with Microsoft for any issues. So it means you can connect your Microsoft Teams phone system to BT, for example, or Gamma Horizon. So this program has similar features as Microsoft comm plans. The Operator Connect supports number porting, which allows customers to keep the existing phone numbers when they switch to Teams, and it keeps their brand recognition, so you don't have to change it, notify customers for a new number. But it can also help customers save money on their bills. This is because Operator Connect allows customers to choose their own telecom operator. I gave two options there, BT or Gamma, and negotiate their own pricing. Also, in comparison with Microsoft's per user license structure, with Operator Connect, you can opt for usage-based plans, which can scale up and down based on call volume rather than user volume. Because with Microsoft comm plans, each user needs to make or receive external calls needs a comm plan. But with Operator Connect, if you go to BT or Gamma, for example, it can be usage based. We have like a pool of minutes, so it doesn't depend on the users, and those minutes can be rolled on each month. So after 6 months, it could be actually cheaper going down that method rather than a per user model with Microsoft comm plans. Also, Operator Connect is a fully managed service, which means that the telecom operator is responsible for managing the entire calling experience, from configuring the Teams environment, provisioning phone numbers, and maintaining network infrastructure. This can free up customers' IT resources and allow them to focus on other priorities. And because Operator Connect has a direct connection between the Kaya network and Microsoft network, it's using Microsoft Azure's peering service, so no traffic will go out via the internet, similar to Microsoft comm plan, which results in enhanced security, high performance, and a global reach. Okay, in this section, I'll be discussing Microsoft Teams phone licensing. Myself and Kevin will probably jump in. There's a number of options for Microsoft Teams phone licensing, so we've decided to put the ones that we use or recommend for customers, and then the simplest ones to explain. So Microsoft Teams phone standard allows the user to have access to the Microsoft Teams phone system. It allows the operator net service to be set up. But the thing is, if a user has Microsoft Teams phone standard, they still can't make and receive calls because you need a comm plan on top of that. So you'll see I've put in a number of options. The domestic call plan, which is 120 minutes of outgoing minutes, unlimited income minutes, UK-based numbers. Another domestic call plan, which is unlimited incoming minutes and unlimited outgoing minutes. Domestic and international call plan as well. There is other options being released. There's a pay-as-you-go call plan and also a domestic call plan, 240 minutes. But I felt for this presentation, it makes sense just to put the ones that we recommend and use for our customers. But the simplest option, or the simplest bundle, is a Microsoft Teams phone with domestic calling plan, because that's got all the features of Microsoft Teams phone standard. You don't need an additional calling plan because the domestic calling plan is bundled in. And you see the price, it's actually cheaper to use for users. But with Microsoft Teams plans or calling plans, you have mix and match. Like we could have it where Kevin has the domestic calling plan, 120 minutes, because he's not on the phone quite a lot in that. But I could be a salesperson that's on the phone out all the time and taking calls in from customers or potential leads, etc. And I could be on the domestic calling plan. So you can mix and match, which is quite good. Okay, and I saw in the chat that someone mentioned about call analytics, which is quite interesting because Microsoft Teams phone itself, the call analytics is quite basic. It is a basic phone system. So because of this, we found many clients need more features that Teams phone couldn't provide. So Bridgel partnered with 8x8, and that offers a fully featured cloud platform for voice, contact center, and telephony integrations within Microsoft Teams. So 8x8 integrates seamlessly with Microsoft Teams, so it works in conjunction with Microsoft Teams phone. And it also enables users to work with the native Teams interface, as Kevin demonstrated. But the key benefits of 8x8 include over 50 pre-built integrations with business apps like Dynamics, Salesforce, and Zendesk, and a number of others. Industry's leading 5x9 SLA that's financially backed for uptime. A unified platform brings together communications capabilities from front desk to contact center. And 8x8 is the only contact center solution certified for Microsoft Teams. There's a number of packages with unlimited calling plans and call center features like Barge, Monitor, Whisper, AI Analytics, SMS, fax, recording, and analog devices support, because by default, Microsoft Teams phone doesn't do call recording, which you don't announce when you actually will go on the website, etc. But a lot of companies want the calls to be recorded. And also the optimized total cost of ownership through purpose-built solutions allows businesses to consolidate vendors, lower the total cost of ownership, increase the return on investment, and optimize the business digital spend. Okay, as you can see from the slide, 8x8 Voice of Microsoft Teams provides tremendous additional value over other cloud calling options by delivering advanced capabilities not native to Teams phone. These include advanced contact center features like skills-based routing, reporting, and agent management, and call recording, analytics, and quality management. You can see in the slide that it says SMS is US and Canada only. But with the UK, actually 8x8 can integrate with, so imagine you're a letting company and your tenants responded to or contacted you via WhatsApp. 8x8 has the capability to integrate the WhatsApp into Microsoft Teams phone. So it's just one solution for your communication to tenants and from tenants. Okay, if there's any questions about the 8x8, you can just put it in the chat. Okay, I'll move on to the case studies. Well, so this is one I worked on recently, where our client's existing phone system requires staff to log into a separate application to receive calls. And many staff are not logging into this, so it meant when a customer's phoning up and hitting a certain call queue or ring group, because the males within that ring group hadn't logged in, there was like 1 or 2 answering calls all the time. So they reached out to Bridgel to come up with a solution that meant there was only one application we have to log into. And because we use Microsoft Teams, we rolled out Microsoft Teams phone with 8x8. We included the 8x8 enhancements because the team leader for the client Sandstone wanted the visibility of call analytics, call strength, and Also, the Bard's Whisper features that you don't get on native Microsoft Teams phone. So because of this, and because on Microsoft Teams, it means the team leaders have full visibility of where the users logged in. But before they didn't, because the analytics or the features on the existing, there was another VoIP solution, didn't have that functionality. So that was rolled out recently, and the client's happy, and the customers of the client's happy as well, because their calls are getting answered quickly, because most staff are aware that there's visibility of their online presence. Okay, do you want to touch on this, Kevin? This one, the visual one?
Yeah, so obviously pre-COVID, we were all in the office. Maybe there's about 35 of us or so, and we all used desk phones. So and especially with the operations team, we all worked full time in the office. So when COVID happened and we all had to work from home, our phone system was actually hosted in our office. We didn't have the capability to kind of manage calls in our houses when we were working from home. So this is what kind of triggered us to transition to Teams telephony, just because, yeah, we didn't have our phone system was on-prem, and we didn't have like a web portal where we can set up, call forwarding or call transfers. We didn't have any of that, and yeah, so our team, we were encouraged to transition the Teams online because we use Teams already, and yeah, that made support line, reception line, a lot easier to manage, and transfer calls over, share calls. Yeah.
Yeah. Still get control. Okay. Yep, and with this, we've discussed a lot about VoIP, about the PSTN switch off, about Microsoft Teams calling plans, Microsoft Teams phone, and 8x8. So Bridger will offer a free 1 hour session with our VoIP solution experts, myself, Kevin, and other members of the team. And during this 1 hour session, we'll discuss your current setup and the best practice approach on how to migrate and implement your existing voice solution to Microsoft Teams phone. We can discuss the licensing required, and also if 8x8 for Microsoft Teams is better suited for a more advanced solution to work in conjunction with Microsoft Teams phone. So Zopash will provide details of that at the end of this webinar. Okay, so this is just the question section. So I see the chat is pretty busy. Yeah, with the wallboard question, as Danny correctly says, it's not there as standard in Microsoft Teams phone. You would have to use another third-party enhancement to see that. So that's why we're partnered with 8x8, because they provide that feature. They can provide full contact center features where you've got wallboards that you can display on a TV, display on your monitor if you're the team lead, example. You can see the calls stuck in the queue, how long a call's taking, etc. It provides more analytics than the Microsoft Teams phone solution.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to integrate it with SharePoint. I'm not a SharePoint expert myself, but I'm sure there's a way to display it somewhere.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there will be. It's just it's not there. It's not there as standard out the box on Microsoft Teams phone. You'd have to get another connector into it to output the data into like Dynamics CRM or a SharePoint site. But the functionality is there. But you probably would need another add-on to achieve that. Okay, I think that's all the questions answered.
As well, yeah, I think they're
Yeah,
all
it's not quick
covered.
scan. Yeah, I see Dan's been pretty busy on the chat. That's good to see. It's good to see there's engagement within the
For sure,
presentation.
Yeah. That's what we like.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, sorry, I thought we just cut in. I think we're kind of hit 11 o'clock. I'm not sure if there are any other questions. I think there are. That's most of them answered, isn't it? If there is anything else, obviously, we will send out some information and you can contact us later on. But I don't know is that everything, guys? Do you think we should? If that's pretty much everything,
I mean, if
isn't
you
it?
guys, if anyone plans to implement Teams and want a bit of advice, don't hesitate to get in touch, for sure.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, take
definitely.
advantage of that. Yeah, take advantage of that 1 hour free session. Because there's a lot of questions in regards to like moving an on-premise phone system to a cloud solution. You know what I mean? It's not as simple sometimes. It's just migrating numbers. But yeah, just reach out to Bridger on LinkedIn. You've got myself, Kevin on LinkedIn, and Zopash will send out details after this webinar.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, that's perfect. So I just want to say a big thank you to Craig and Kevin for delivering such a great session, and we hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll send you out the follow-up shortly. It'll have the slides and the recording, etc. in there. In the meantime, as the guys were saying, if you've got any questions, you can contact us via contact@bridgel.com. I'll send you all the details, or you can reach out to the guys on LinkedIn as well. We also have some other events coming up. We'll link our Eventbrite page, which has other things in there as well that you can sign up to. And there's also the resources that were mentioned in the call. I'll put them into the chat as well. So just want to say thank you so much. I think someone has put in a question there about an answer to a question. We'll follow this up after this call as well. I'm quite cautious that other people will have other meetings and stuff on as well. So thanks so much again for joining us, and we hope to see you at the next event. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay.